All right, figured it out. Okay. I always assume it's happening automatically, so I apologize. I didn't pay attention to that. Okay. I think the biggest difference between COVID and now, as far as locations, is we did everything in the office, and we're going back to Oakland High School. So the donation center will be in the Lum office the week after Thanksgiving, Monday through Friday, November 28th through December 2nd, from 1 to 5. But then the Monday after that, the Monday before Jubilee, which is December 5th, everything will move over to Oakland High School, and we'll do 2 more days of collecting donations on Monday and Tuesday from 1 to 5. And then we basically pack up after that and don't come back until Thursday, and then again Saturday. So everything prior to that will be in the office. Everything the week before will be at Oakland. And then the day of, it's sort of split again like it used to be. The command center will be in the office, and that's where you bring packages for families who are unable to attend. And Oakland High School will be where you bring the surplus items, so that we could get prepared for the 50 families that will be attending Jubilee Christmas Part 2. All right. The admission letter and tickets all went out yesterday. Is that correct, Josh?
I think the tickets are mailing. I think Terry was going to bring them to the post office today.
So on the screen now, you can see an example of what the ticket looks like. It hasn't changed in design in a while, but those of you that are new, it will have a watermark of the Lum logo in the background, so it cannot be copied or duplicated without losing the watermark. On the back of the ticket, we'll have similar information that you all got on your families, and we give it to the families so that they know exactly who they signed up. And if there's any discrepancy, they have an opportunity to call you and say, there's a kid missing, or I've got too many people. Most of the time it is accurate. But if you find any discrepancies, just call Josh or me, and we'll help you work through that and decide what we're going to do from that point on. It's always good for us to get.
Most likely discrepancy is going to be, that it's going to say that there's a different number of teenagers or kids under 12 and under than there actually are, that something was misentered there, or a 12-year-old turned 13, or, we didn't record that in time for the tickets. So that's going to be your most likely discrepancy. A bunch of you already know about that. So.
And as in past years, we do rely on you all to go through your lists and check our numbers, and make sure that we've got everything correct. And it's always helpful for you to give that information back to us if it's incorrect, and especially if it's a new address or a new phone number, new email. That's good to get it to the system as well. Any questions? I'll pause there and see if you have any questions about how we've communicated so far with the families. No? Okay. The families probably will get them soon, so you'll know better than us, because they'll start calling the number on the front of that ticket, I'm sure. The information we've shared with you, you should have at this point.
Excuse me, can I real quick?
Go ahead.
So this is Jennifer Spitznagel. I'm from St. Anne's. So I have one family that we were given 2 phone numbers, an email address. So I've called both numbers, nobody answers. I've sent text to those numbers, no one's like, it comes back, it bounces back. It's like they've been disconnected. So
That's
then I emailed.
Not unusual.
So then I emailed, got no response. So last Friday I mailed a letter. Is there any other form of communication that I need to do, or just get age appropriate gifts and maybe gift cards for the kids for outfits?
Let us know who it is, because oftentimes if Josh or I send an email saying, this is Lafayette Urban Ministry. You haven't responded. You need to respond or else you're not going to be able to participate. It always surprises me how they'll respond to us sometimes and not you. So we'll try that.
The subject line was Lum Jubilee Christmas. I mean, it was that subject line. So, I mean.
Do they,
Yes,
you should also know soon enough, we'll be updating the client information forms on your spreadsheets tomorrow with, tomorrow or Thursday with everybody who's responded, in the last few days or last week. So you'll probably know pretty fast if there's, if they've submitted a form. At that point, you can just start buying for them because you'll know what they want. So.
But I mean, I think you've already answered your own question. You do the best you can. You prepare for them the best you can right up until the day of. And even after they don't show up, you give us the packages, hoping they might even show up after Jubilee Christmas. There's not much more we could do than that. But yeah, let us know too, and we'll try from our end. Maybe if they see it, the email address coming from LUM, you never know. But I think you did everything correct.
And unfortunately, some of our families, they just, it's the nature of it. They just, email, phone numbers come and go regularly.
Well, they could have moved too. You don't.
They move.
Situation.
So,
but texting, it especially in the case where they may have a government issued phone, they may have run out of minutes, but they can accept text. So it was smart of you to text them as well. But I can't give you any more advice than that. Anybody else have any other thoughts? I know some of you are brave enough to do knock on doors, but that's totally up to you. I wouldn't suggest it. Any other questions or comments? All right, so far you all should have received from Josh a document that has 2 families on each page with a lot of all the information you'll need. One of the easiest things to do if you need help from us with a family is include that serial number, because we could search in our database by serial number and we know we have the right family. We won't have to search for someone and maybe get duplicates. So if you need help, send us the name, send us what the issue is, but also send us the serial number. You've gotten a spreadsheet just in case you use Excel with Word to make name tags or mailing labels or whatever, but we know some of those fields are pretty funky because the family information is clustered together. It's the best we could do with getting it in Excel, but we've also printed you mailing labels that you could just automatically print out and use if you need them, or need them to label packages or things like that. And you should have a spreadsheet with what we call the toy form, but it's basically a breakdown of what the kids want for Christmas based on what mom and dad think. Anybody not get any of those things? Okay. We're going to wait to send you the invoices until next week, just in case you give us feedback that our numbers are wrong. Because
I did send out a spreadsheet. You may or may not have seen it. It went out about an hour and a half ago. It's a PDF spreadsheet. Look it over, see if it seems accurate. I do want to clarify one confusion I came across, or somebody to let me know about. The last couple columns in the spreadsheet say less than 6 or something like less than or equal to 6 kids, more than 6 kids. That's the number of kids in the family, not the ages of the kids. Basically, is it a big family or a small family?
That's it. That's the number of people in the family.
Well, it's the number of kids because I have no way to track the number, easy way to track the number of people.
So I had a question about
Pablo
that.
and I might have to get together on that one.
So
Well,
I had a question about that when it comes to figuring out the gift cards. Is it based on the number of children in the family, including teenagers, that constitutes a large family or small family, or does it include the adults?
It's the number of people in the household, like we do with the food pantry.
Okay, so Pablo, obviously I'm gonna have to update that part of the
Okay.
spreadsheet, and you're gonna have to show me how, because I don't know how to track the number of adults in any easy
Okay.
fashion. All right, so you're all gonna get a new spreadsheet with updated numbers for those couple columns.
Okay, cool. All right, the invoice, try to get it to us as soon as you can, because we're gonna be spending tens of thousands of dollars on gift cards, when we get the numbers more accurate. But at the latest, give it to us when you pick up your packets on December 8th. I advise you to look at the site evaluation now so you know what's involved in it. It's not that complex to form, but take a good look at it. This year, we're not going to really be as concerned about giving the surplus money back to LUM, but we do want some assurances that that money is going to be used for Jubilee Christmas in the future, or to assist families with financial emergencies, like we do with the Good Samaritan Fund. Any questions about that?
Yeah, I had a couple questions. Some of the stuff that we were going to buy for families, we were going to have them pick out some household type personal items. So anything left over, could that go to the food pantry? Because we know we hand out the stuff there. Or do you want it?
I would prefer it all come back to us at the high school.
At the high school. So like diapers or stuff that,
Right.
because we were going to have like a diaper table rather than trying to figure out what sizes the family wants with the ones with the babies. We were going to, so
those extra things, I mean, if you've got a way of giving them out at your church, I'm fine with that. But we will end up getting them to kids. And we will go, a lot of the food and diapers and things like that will go to the two LUM food pantries.
and that's what I figure, since the food pantry is in our church. So
oh, I see. Got it.
I thought I would just, anything extra like that I know that we hand out at that LUM food pantry, could I just like take it downstairs and give it to Nina?
Yeah.
You're probably fine with that, yes.
Everybody okay with that? I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So that's where we're at now, and you guys, now the hard work's on you, and we'll go ahead and buy the gift cards and send you the invoices and get ready for Jubilee Part 2. But that week of starting the 5th, like I said, we're going to still collect toys, and we're going to move everything over to Oakland High School. On the Tuesday, the 6th, if you need anything at that point, you're welcome to come to Oakland High School and go shopping for what you need. We're asking that you do sign up, so that we don't have too many people in the room, but I'm not overly concerned about that. If you're coming just for some extra stuff, sign up for an appointment, you'll be fine. If you are afraid you don't have enough of the bare minimums, call us and we'll get you into that room a little earlier than the sign up, because there's not a lot of early spots left.
I know we're getting a lot of blankets and things like that donated, so
That's coming up.
that's something people can be shopping for if you're having trouble getting enough blankets, stuff like that.
Packet pickup is the Thursday before. Thank goodness there won't be any frozen hams in a big old truck that we have to haul in there. Again, that's an appointment only thing. It's maybe 3 churches, I think, every 15 minutes. So you'll move in and out of there pretty quickly. We just don't want people waiting around. There will be given to you in an envelope. You'll get the gift cards, which are for the teenagers. You will get food cards, including the meat card. There will be the family evaluations that be as creative as you can with getting those in front of the parents and having them fill them out and return to you. We are going to contact the Rotary Club again to get Dolly Parton book club pamphlets. You'll get as many of those as you need. It's for kids who are 4 and younger, usually. They will get, if they sign up properly, they will get a book a month until they turn 5 from Dolly Parton's foundation. So it's a great idea. If you want to get those, collect them and give them to us when you bring things to the office the day of, we'll take on the postage and mail those for them. I would be hesitant to give them the pamphlet and let them go with it because they'll just lose it with everything else they're taking. Have them fill it out there and collect it, explain to them it's a really cool thing, and we'll make sure they get mailed in. Any questions about that? So we're now up to Jubilee Day. Okay.
Well, quick question. I know we talked today when I was at the office about the numbers for the gift cards. So if we want to change or increase, do you have an actual date?
Yeah, sooner is better.
All right.
Because we're gonna
I've
probably
emailed
try
my
and put the
team, so-
orders in early next week. So before early next week.
Okay, it's Friday. Okay.
I have a question. Where are the gift cards for the teens coming from this year? Do you know?
Most likely Meyer.
Meyer, okay.
And the food cards will, and right, what we do now is who makes it easiest to buy them. Meyer makes it so easy to buy them online. And to kind of add more to your question, Mary Kay, after we get those cards, we have to sort them by church, and it's tens of thousands of dollars worth of gift cards, so we can't just do that out in the open.
Right. I know.
So it takes some time
Yeah.
to put together. So I apologize.
Pablo,
No, understood.
Yes,
Pablo, when will the gift cards be activated?
good question. They will not be activated when you get them. They will be activated most likely. Well, let me just say they'll be activated before Monday morning. If Josh and I remember to do it on Sunday, we'll try to do them on Sunday the 11th. But when they're not activated, they're not worth anything.
Right.
So we don't want you to be responsible and all that. So
We've had parents that try to use them that afternoon, and
yeah,
then
that's fun.
we get irate phone calls, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I would let your families know that
We do. We learned that last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
that's
intent
good.
of that gift card is that they give that to the teenager on Christmas morning, and the teenager goes and shops for what they want. Some parents think they know what that teenager wants for $30 and they'll want to go shopping in advance, but they will not be activated on Saturday morning. Any more questions about that? Good question, Mary. Thanks for the reminder. All right. Are there any specific needs this year? We usually don't know until you guys let us know. But blankets and quilts, we will have, if you look at the end of the agenda there, quilts for kids are busy putting together a packet of 100 quilts for us. If you need more, let us know and we'll put them aside from that 100. If you don't, that's fine. They will get to some kid in the county, before Christmas. Any other needs that you guys can think of? We have a lot of AA batteries that got donated to us earlier this year. So if you need AA batteries, you don't have to buy them, just let me know. B on that says, make it fun. It's just a reminder that we're sort of able to do more things that are fun. We're not totally out of the woods, and we never will be because of flu and COVID. But feel free to bring back fun things. If you're comfortable doing food, if you're comfortable doing music, encourage and a lot of you already do this. Some of you do a tremendous job with decorations and costumes and Santas that look so real. It's great, but try to make it fun for the families. And remember that some families don't have transportation. That's a tricky one. If you're willing to offer transportation, make sure you follow whatever protocols your church has for you. I personally would never allow a person alone to drive anybody anywhere, for the simple fact that they could say whatever they want and it would be their word against the driver's word. So I always send two people if you have to. Some people will try to get on the bus. We tried to do the downtown people with downtown churches. So if they don't have a car, they could walk. If you need help with Spanish translators, let us know, but ask that question. Ask if they need any accommodations because of a disability, and incidents. Some of you, and I think it's very, very few at this point, it may only be one or two families that they have had incidents in the past with Jubilee Christmas. And we aren't comfortable banning them from Jubilee Christmas because it wasn't that bad, but we wanted you to have the heads up that they may need a little bit more patience, you know, a little bit more attention, maybe have a plan to isolate them if they do weird things. But like I said, I think it's only maybe one or two families at this point. Any questions about any of that? Okay. The command center will be opened and we will have a staff person there who will have access to every database we have, all the times and places. And we'll be telling the families this as well, that if they can't get a hold of you the day of, they can get a hold of us. And you can get a hold of us as well. If you do have an incident at your church that you don't know how to handle, call us. Whoever answers the phone in our office that day will know how to reach Josh and me and Wes, our executive director. So the three of us will be there all day and we could run out to the church if we need to, or talk to you on the phone. We will be sending someone to all of the sites. So look for a LUM representative. You don't have to do anything special for us. We just want to come and say thank you and see how it's going. It's really a treat for us to see firsthand what the churches are doing. It's just amazing and reminds us why this event is so wonderful and so important. You may get media. We like to connect the media with our executive director. So if they call you and give you a heads up, they'll be there. Let us know and we'll get Wes over there to greet them if you think that's necessary. The command center is where you're going to bring the packages for families that were unable to show up. And we ask that you put the gift cards in an envelope and staple those to the top of the bag so we're not digging into the bag to find the gift cards, and make sure it's clearly labeled what church and what family name so we could contact them. We most likely will try to contact them, some of them on Sunday morning, because a lot of them get called into work and that's why they can't be there, but they may not work Sundays. So we'll try to distribute most of them on Sunday, but we'll keep them all until Wednesday. And then at that point, we'll just give up and distribute them to other agencies in town that are doing Christmas programs. All right. It would be great if you took photos. We can't be everywhere to take photos, and you guys take great photos. And share those with us. You could use a sharing software like Dropbox if you're familiar with that, or you could just email them to the Jubilee email address. And even after the fact, if you've had a photographer that has flash drives or SD cards, you could bring those to the office during the day and we could transfer those onto a computer as well. Ready to talk about the family evaluations, try to get those filled out as they leave. And actually we'll talk about now how people leave. We would strongly suggest that you have families sign that they've accepted everything when they leave, especially the gift card. It's not that often that someone will call us and say, I got home and I don't have the gift cards and they didn't give them to me. And it really does help when the church calls us and says, no, they signed and we looked at it and we gave it to them. if we feel like they're really being honest, we will try to accommodate them and give them additional ones, but we just don't want that to become a habit. It's really not a fun situation to be in. So so whatever you're giving them on the way out, you can just have them say, if you wouldn't mind just signing here and just keep those. Any questions about that? All right. And the surplus toys, I apologize, you have to go to 2 spots, but the surplus toys go to Oakland High School, and that's for the simple fact that we are sorting those toys and setting up an entire Jubilee Christmas site for those 50 additional families in Jubilee Part 2. Speaking of those families, we do not have anything for the teenagers for those kids. The parents will each have a host, so it's not a free-for-all. They will get called up 3 times to get 1 toy each time for each kid. The host knows that if they see something for the teenager, they're welcome to ask and take something for the teenager. And a lot of times we will have some older things. We don't have food cards though. We don't have meat cards, and we most likely won't. In the past, we've asked if anyone has a fund that could give the 50 families at least a $10 meat card. It's nothing that we've promised them, but you could, after the meeting, email Josh and say, we're willing to do that, and that would be great. All right, Jubilee Part 2, we do need volunteers. As you heard me say, we have a host for each of the families, so that means we need a minimum of 50 volunteers. Before that, we need a team of about a dozen or more that collect the toys, sort the toys. We have people sorting cookies and putting together cookie things. So bring us cookies that can be replated and given to families. If you have food that you're worried is going to go bad or you don't want to deal with it, anything non-perishable will go to our 2 food pantries, with 1 in West Lafayette and 1 in Lafayette. Anything perishable will either be given to the volunteers who are working that day or go to the shelter, or if it's something that's stable enough, like cookies, that might even go to our after-school program. But yeah, we'll take more than just toys and clothes and books and stuffed animals and things like that. Any questions? All right. So if you wouldn't mind promoting that we do need volunteers for that day, that would be wonderful. Those spots do fill up. It's one of the few volunteer opportunities that is good for groups. So the more the merrier. And we will allow kids, middle school age to come with parents, because a lot of it's sorting toys and just cleaning the room and sweeping and things like that. But you have to be high school or older to host a parent. All right, so I have one more item on the agenda, and that's to let you know that we have that special gift from Quilts for Kids. But we also have another very special gift. Some of you know about this local company called French Knot. They do a very high-end knitted hat, sweater, scarf, what do you call those, headbands that cover your ears. They have donated 4 boxes of their items to us. And if you go on their website, you will see that they retail for minimum of $100 if you're getting a hat. Some of the sweaters are a couple of $100. All the materials are high quality yarn. I think I don't want to make up the story, but look up the story. They're in downtown Lafayette, but they have mills around the world that are making these sweaters and hats and scarves and things like that. So those will be available when you come to shop. we didn't feel comfortable just handing those out randomly, so we chose Jubilee Christmas to distribute these, because you'll have an opportunity to share with the mom and dad the value of what you're giving them, for whatever that's worth. Any questions? Yeah, go ahead and search French knot. It's a really good, it's a really nice story too. I think it's a mother-daughter team that started this company. They used to be on Main Street, I think, but now they're on 6th or 3rd or.
So what if we just want to come and look at get hats possibly for are they kid size hats or adult? Do you have any idea?
You know, we haven't inventoried them yet, but before we distribute them, we'll inventory them, and we might even share that. We could share that with you.
Right, because if we don't need toys, but we might want, that'd be a great thing for these girls that are like 10, 12, 11, 12 years old, or so hard to buy for.
Yeah.
Can you guys see this website?
Yes.
Yep.
So if you see the hats, I mean, they're really beautiful, high quality knit hats, but you can see the price tags on these.
Yeah.
Retail $86. You know, and the apparel and scarves. I don't think we got any sweaters, but we might have gotten some scarves. Those scarves are $300 scarves. So we wanted to make sure someone got them who would keep them and use them, and not use them one night and throw them in an alley. But yeah, that was a very nice gift, and wonderful team that they have working in Lafayette that came and gave them to us. So, but we'll go ahead. I'll have someone inventory those, and we'll send a spreadsheet out to tell you what we have and what sizes. Okay. Anything I missed? Those of you, unfortunately, that wrote your name and church in before we started recording, we're not going to get that.
Nope.
I apologize. It only captures it when we're recording, and I messed up. Sorry. Anything for the order?
Just a reminder, Brooke from Blessed Sacrament and Doris from Grace, if you could hold down for a couple of minutes after the meeting, just hang out, just to talk about one thing.
And Mary, and you've already talked to St. John's and Mary Anderson about the gift cards.
No, I'm not sure. I sent out in the spreadsheet, it did have the 3 that I knew about who wanted to buy gift cards, more expensive gift cards or extra gift cards.
Okay, just email us, Mary, if you want to increase those amounts.
Yeah, it was correct on the spreadsheet.
Oh,
Okay.
great, wonderful. And is there someone from the LDS Church on the call? Okay. All right. Well, thank you all. This is an exciting time. Let us know if you need any help whatsoever.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
Hi. Okay. So we had a little situation that came up. So Doris from Grace had emailed me. The email went to the Jubilee email and kind of got lost for several days.
My fault.
That they had gotten more, not necessarily more families, but more kids than they'd been expecting. And she had asked if we could move one of those families. And so we moved Amanda Lawrence to Blessed Sacrament. But then apparently in the meantime, Doris had already reached out to Amanda, and talked to her and welcomed her and started shopping for her. So now, and the ticket has already gone out, so we can still switch Amanda back, but I wanted to, and send her a new ticket, but I wanted to talk to both of you first and see what you all want to do.
It doesn't matter.
Yep. Yeah, Doris, you were muted there. You're still muted.
Now?
Yep, now you're good.
That gives you a clue about my technical skills, which is why I created this nightmare for you. I noticed that you were wearing a heated neck wrap, and I feel like I have been your pain in the neck.
No.
literally.
There's been lots of other things going on. You're fine.
I am so sorry for that. What I would love to say to you is how much I appreciate all that you have done, and my poor communication skills and emails, which you've got one coming. If you haven't read it yet, there's another one. So I'm so glad we have this opportunity to talk in person. First of all, go ahead and leave Amanda wherever she's going, which looks like Blessed Sacrament. Is that okay with Brooke?
Yes.
Cool. That's good.